The other guy, you might need a little bit more convincing for after last night, because the other guy is Josh McCown. And it was a dismal night last night for the Vikings and a pretty dismal last two games of the season. In fact, I think they had 9 points in each of the last two games. Not great. Not great at all. But lest we forget what they did this year. They were one of the best teams in football for most of the year. They were excellent in play action, and they saw a career renaissance with Sam Darnold. Everyone thought this guy was done. And here comes Josh McCown, a guy who had backed up Darnold in New York with the Jets, and had said at the time, like, this kid's going to be special. He's a guy who knows Darnold pretty well. He comes in the Kevin O'Connell system, and all of a sudden, Darnold looks like a top 5 quarterback in the league this year. He's going to get MVP votes this year. 4,300 yards, that's 5th in the league. 35 touchdowns, 5th in the league. Only 12 picks. And a QBR on ESPN QBR that was 14th in the league at 61. This guy was excellent this season for a Vikings team that kind of came out of nowhere after they spent a first-round pick to get a quarterback last year. J.J. McCarthy tears his ACL. Oh, bring in the retread. Sam Darnold, maybe, just maybe, you can get a little bit of something out of him. Maybe you get kind of a Tommy Maddox year out of him. This would be like if Tommy Maddox won the MVP. And you can credit Josh McCown for that. And probably because he had a prior relationship with him. He kind of knew how Sam Darnold ticked because he played with him. How about this? Josh McCown hasn't coached a long time. But you want to talk about being familiar with a quarterback. What if I told you that Josh McCown coached Drake Maye in high school? I'm not kidding. I didn't notice this until earlier this week. But yes, Josh McCown was an assistant at Myers Park High School in Charlotte. Very nice part of Charlotte, by the way. And was an assistant coach on the offensive side for Drake Maye in high school. So, like, it's all well and good that he knew Sam Darnold because he played with him. But he literally coached this kid already. And look what he did with Sam Darnold, man. Drake Maye might have more upside, and he's already coached him. He checks all the boxes. He's that young, exciting offensive type. Bang. Previous success in the NFL. Bang. Has coached Drake Maye. Not just knows him, not just knows his game. He coached the kid. Bang. All 3 check marks. So Josh McDaniels might be the odds-on favorite, but Josh McCown would be a big-time hire for this team. You might get the best of both worlds. You get the hard-ass head coach. Even though you don't get the offensive head coach, you basically get one of the best offensive coordinators on the market in Josh McCown. He had a great season with Minnesota, and he knows your franchise quarterback. Is it making too much sense for you guys? Is it possibly making too much sense? Is it too good to be true? Man, I was on the McDaniels train. And again, if they hire him, I'm not crying into my pillow. But this Josh McCown thing, I'm kind of in on it. I'm very okay with that. And it feels like, for the first time in a long time, they've got options. Because Bill Belichick did not have options. He was never going to go get Rex Ryan as his DC. He was never going to go get Cliff Kingsbury as his OC. Those dream lists that I had, it was never going to happen. But he would eventually bring in the right guys, sometimes bring in the right guys, and it was probably because he was the right guy, the right head coach. Now the Patriots have options. Last year they did not, even though they did get Belichick out of the building. They didn't have options because Gerard Mayo didn't know anybody, and he was clearly being told who to hire, clearly. And so now you do have those options. It should note, like I say, that Josh McCown doesn't have a lot of experience. He's had 2 years coaching in the NFL. He's the quarterback's coach for Bryce Young in 23, which some people said was bad. I thought it was a little overblown, but certainly wasn't great. And then this year with Sam Darnold, which was very good. Very good. So to me, if it's Josh McDaniels, that's great. If it's Josh McCown, that's pretty damn good too. But let's get the right guy in the building for Drake Maye. Because if you have the hard asset head coach who knows the ins and outs of this thing and is going to build the culture, going to galvanize the team and the franchise, like he said, and you've got the right offensive mind, the wins might come sooner rather than later.
We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter here for some more outrageous Boston sports takes coming to you every weekday at noon Eastern time. And then after that, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are Rogue Media Sports.